Man, it sure is a nice day out here on the beach. Oh, hey guys. What are you doing here? We're on spring break. Shouldn't you be out, playing somewhere other than on the beach? Because I'm on vacation right now. And there's nothing more exciting than, hey, what's going on, dudes? Pace, what are you doing here? They don't allow Panthers on the beach.
Well, I kinda stowed away in your luggage, Mr. Z.
Well, that's not the greatest thing to do because now I don't even think they're allowed Panthers out here on the beach. Do you think I should keep them around? Yeah, well, I'm going to because I'm not flying back home. I'm out here on the beach. I got my hat on so I don't get burnt. I got this sunscreen. Keep myself safe from the sun. Now, boys and girls, I hope you're all out there learning because that's what we should be doing right now. And in fact, my lessons this whole month were going to be about something really exciting.
What's that, Mr. Z?
Well, Pace, they were going to be about careers.
What's a career?
You boys and girls know what a career is, right? Yeah, a career is a job. It's what you are going to do when you grow up and get older.
But, Mr. Z, I don't want to grow up.
Well, then maybe you need to go to Neverland because you are going to grow up. We're all going to grow up, and it's important to be thinking towards the future of what you want to be when you get older. Now, if you're kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth grade, even if you're older watching this video, do you need to know what you want to be when you grow up right now?
Yeah?
No, Pace, you don't. You don't need to know what you want to do when you grow up right now. But it's a good idea to start thinking about it. Have you ever thought about what you want to be when you grow up?
Well, I kind of like being a Panther.
Well, that's okay. But you need to give something back to society. You need to be a good community helper. Like my job, I'm a school counselor.
Oh, okay. Well, can I be a doctor?
Well, yeah, you can be a doctor.
What about a lawyer?
Well, yeah, you can be a lawyer too. Those are all really great ideas. Boys and girls, I have something really cool for us to do. I have a great story from one of my favorite musicians of all time, Weird Al Yankovic. And he writes a great story about when I grew up. So sit back, listen, and you'll get to hear it from Mr. Z. We'll wait for you when you come back. Enjoy. When I Grow Up by Weird Al Yankovic. Illustrations by Wes Hargis. I waited so long for the hours to pass, but soon it was noon there in Mrs. Crump's class, and Thursday at noon, as I'm sure you know well, is the time of the week when we do show and tell. And this week's the subject so special to me was, when I grow up, what am I gonna be? That's something I'd really been thinking about, and I just couldn't wait to let all those thoughts out. So when Mrs. Crump said, "Who's ready to share?" you can guess who was there with his hand in the air. I raised both my hands just as high as they'd go, and I bounced up and down, and then, what do you know? Well, Mrs. Crump picked me, yes, me, to go first. Oh, I was so happy I thought I would burst. I proudly stood up and began my oration concerning my choice for future vocation. Esteemed friends and colleagues, and dear Mrs. Krupp, I know what I'm gonna be when I grow up. Why, I'll be the greatest chef you've ever seen. The world will go crazy for my haute cuisine. I'll tantalize taste buds with my rigatoni, sautéed with black truffles and pickled bologna, surrounded by kumquats and candies pig feet, topped with shrimp-flavored lollipops. Bon appetit! My walls will be filled with awards that I've gotten for toast on a stick and my Twinkies au gratin. My kitchen will be the most famous in France, so make reservations 12 years in advance. There's no doubt about it, I'm certain you'll see A world-renowned chef is what I'm gonna be. That's very nice, Billy, sweet Mrs. Krupp said. Who wants to be next? Maybe Susie or Fred? I said, hold the phone now. I haven't departed. Hang on to your seats, because I'm just getting started. See, maybe instead I could be a snail trainer. Man, that would be awesome. Why, that's a no-brainer. I'll teach all my snails to do really neat tricks. They'll play dead, roll over, and even fetch sticks. Of course, all the sticks will come back 2 years later. But working with snails, I mean, what could be greater? They'll do any stunt that I like. Holy moly! I'll train them to pedal a bike really slowly. Then jump, ooze, through a huge ring of fire and crawl at a snail's pace across the high wire. Then finish by writing my name with their trails. That's right! I'll be Billy, the master of snails! Or else maybe I'll be the lathe operator who makes the hydraulic torque wrench calibrator, which fine-tunes the wrench that's specifically made to retighten the nuts on the lateral blade. That's directly beneath the main radial sockets inside cooling systems on X-14 rockets. And since this profession's as cool as can be, well, who would be better to do it than me? Say, here's an idea. Perhaps just for laughs, I might make a living by milking giraffes. It's oh so cliche to get milk from a cow, and I bet all those cows need a break anyhow. Imagine me milking way up in the air. I'd use a tall ladder instead of a chair. What? Milking giraffes? Mrs. Krupp said. Oh, please. I countered, how else could we make giraffe cheese? Now, don't interrupt me. I'm not really through yet. There's still lots of stuff that I'm planning to do yet. Because maybe I'll be a gorilla masseuse. Or an artist who sculpts out of chocolate mousse. Or a rodeo clown or a movie director. Or maybe professional pickle inspector. Or big sumo wrestler or a hedge fund investor. Or a smelly pit-sniffing deodorant tester. Or I'll be an expert on nuclear fission, or else a foot model or friendly mortician, or a waiter or skater or master debater, or a dinosaur dusting museum curator, or TV repairman or sidewalk sign waver, or part-time assistant tarantula shaver. And that's about when Miss Krupp said, Now, Billy, please make up your mind. This is getting quite silly. Which one of those things are you going to choose? Well, I shuffled around and I looked at my shoes, and I finally said, my great-grandfather Bob's been a whole lot of things and had a whole bunch of jobs. A butcher, a barber, a bellman, a bouncer, a telephone psychic, and bingo announcer. You know what? He just turned 103, and he's still not quite sure what he wants to be. See, I'm only 8 now, so frankly I'm hoping you'll cut me some slack if I leave options open. Let's just wait and find out what my future brings. Hey, I might have time to do all of those things. And then the bell rang and we all went to lunch. And as I was sipping my pineapple punch, I pondered professions that I'd like to enter. Like brave firefighter or crazy inventor. Or maybe, just maybe now, when I grow up, I can be a great teacher. Like dear Mrs. Krupp. The end.
That was a funny story. That really was a funny story, Mr. Z. Except, I don't think there's anything as like a giraffe milker.
Yeah, I don't think there is, but I think it'd be kind of scary to be a gorilla masseuse, don't you? But that's where it gets kind of tough, because sometimes there's a lot of different jobs that we may not know, but one of the best things that you do know is that you can research different jobs.
Well, how do we do that, Mr. Z?
Well, Pace, good question. I'll show you. Boys and girls, one of the coolest things that you have right now at your disposal is each and every one of you has a tablet in your hand or a phone or you're on a computer. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to ask you to go to this website up here. It's not hard to get to because it's going to be linked down in my description, where you can click on the link. It takes you right there, and it's going to take you through the whole process on how to research your careers. Now, on this site right here, this is going to be for my younger kids. If you're first and second grade, you may be able to handle this just fine. So when you're on this website, it's based out of North Dakota, and they have this picture right here that says elementary school student. See that? Elementary school student. All right. You're going to click on that. It's going to take us to another spot called Pause in Jobland. Now, the great thing with Pause in Jobland is it's this great interactive dog that takes you through his whole town of Jobland. I'm not going to turn on the sound. You totally can. So Pause is going to take us in here. I'm going to click through here to kind of show you it a little bit more. But as you can see, Pause has some really great features here. Thanks, Pause. I'm glad he's telling us kind of all these different things and all the different options he has in Jobland. So what I want you to do is take the Job Finder quiz. What this is going to do is it's going to ask you all these different questions, whether you like math, whether you like working with kids, whether you like being outside or gardening, and just answer the best way you can. I don't really like math, so I'm going to hit no. Yeah, I like English. Boom. And then as you go through, Pause is going to take you to his Jobland. Now, when you get to the Jobland, it's going to open up all these different types of jobs that you may be interested in. Some of you might not know what you want to be when you grow up, and that's okay. You don't have to know. But go ahead, research through these. When you click on one of these buildings, Pause is going to kind of tell you a little bit about it. So let's look at information technology. When we're in information technology, one of the coolest things that there is, oh, well, would you look at that, video game designer. Do any of you guys like video games? Because I bet you do. So Pause will have his friends tell you a little bit about this job and maybe some of the requirements you're going to need to do. Once you're done learning about that, you can go ahead and go back, look at Jobland. Just always remember to click on his doghouse. He'll take you through there. All right. Now, for my older 3rd and 4th grade students, here's something out of Pennsylvania. Ohio doesn't have anything like this, which is okay, no big deal, but I absolutely love this. I think it does a really good job. So once again, it's going to be linked down in my description, but it's called the Career Zone. You're going to click on this right here that says Discover Possibilities. When you click on that, it's going to take you right here. Click on Interest Profiler. Just like in Pause, you're going to answer some questions so we can find out what you like. Start a new interest profiler, and you take the mini quiz or questionnaire. Once you're done, it's going to find a bunch of different jobs that might interest you. Okay? But you're saying, wait, Mr. Z, I couldn't find NBA superstar. Well, there's a button right up here that has a little magnifying glass in its search. Just type in. Let's type in NBA. Boom. Let's see what comes up. Well, NBA superstar didn't come up, but athletes and sports competitors do. Okay, so you're going to make sure you're under the occupation, which means job. Once you click on that, you're able to find out a lot of information about what that career does. And what I know you boys and girls are really going to want to look at is their salary. Okay, it's they getting that money. Okay, so that's the one thing that I know you're going to want to look for. So go ahead, do some research, find out different things, and it will it'll be great. Once you are done with all that, that's it. That's all you have to do. Boys and girls, I want you to have a fantastic and wonderful rest of your day. Do a little bit of career research. Talk to your brothers or sisters, mom and dad, grandma and grandpa. See what they do. And as always, if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to Mr. Z or have mom or dad reach out to Mr. Z through my email, through my social media. I have comments turned off on this channel because, well, it's for kids and I want to make sure you guys are safe. So boys and girls, have a wonderful and fantastic day, and I'll see y'all real soon. Bye.